Okay, good evening. It's Monday, October 16th, 2023, and here at precisealgorithmtrading.com. So let's dive in and take a look at how our automated trading systems work today. So the Dow has taken a little bit of a fall here recently, which is hopefully short lived, but our last equity peak was probably on the 12th, and now we've fallen off from there, which is okay. It's not the end of the world. Um, as I showed on the weekend, it looks just fine on the long term, and it's even fine here. Just need it to start perking back up again. The Russell, um, it had one trade today and it was negative, but this pop the other day made up for a lot of negativity, and so this is the trade for today. So this is the series of trades the other day that made a lot of this stuff go away. The Nasdaq made a decision over the weekend to this is something I've been working on for a month or so, and it trades a little bit more often, but it also goes up better and faster with less drawdown. So with our account, instead of trading 5 contracts, we can trade 3 for generally the same gain. Actually, it's a little bit better and a little less drawdown, and you get this thing has I could port over the stats for it, but the losses are capped um, at 700, I think, per trade, 700 or 500 per contract per trade. So um, we won't get what happened the other day, at least unless we get a rogue trade. And we'll have times when we have nice gains like that, nice gains like this, and about that is their biggest loss. We can have a string of those losses like we did here recently, but we'll have, and it's about a 50-50 system or thereabouts. So the still the same. All this, everything else is the same. It just basically trades a little differently, and just to kind of show really the two things, I won't say side by side, but together. This is the new algorithm. This is the older algorithm. And if you look at the older algorithm, it's still fine. It still holds up. Um, I just like to win more often. That's all. So, uh, yeah, there you go. And then the older algorithm actually still. This is that big loss the other day. And again, that was 5 contracts right there. So it's still, I mean, today had a series of losses as well. So, generally speaking, these things are going to move about the same. It's just, like I say, this one's going to get back up faster off the mat. So, all right, let's go to the markets. This is the S&P, and we got a big pop today, 1% move on the S&P. Coming up off the bottom, we'll see if it sticks. We'll take a look at the bullish percent indexes. We've kind of been seeing this coming. So we were positioned pretty well today. Not perfectly, but perfect's a hard thing to do. We've come up off the bottom with the Dow a little bit, although Friday's action taking that back was actually pretty interesting. Big move down. I was expecting to move all the way down to 43.04 on the SPX. I still think we might get that tomorrow before we get a chance to launch, but we might just go straight back up from here. The Russell up 1.5%, and we're coming off of a pretty clear bottom, but we might have overhead resistance pretty quick too. So the Nasdaq 1.2%, this is all pretty constructive. So, although now we're starting to go into a squeeze on the weekly, so I'd almost expect to have some sideways action for a little bit, unless we pop right out of the squeeze. And then the transports, they're coming up off the mat as well in a similar fashion to the Russell. So we'll keep an eye on that. And oil pulled back, I think, hard today. Not quite as hard as, I mean, the USO is showing down 0.76. So we came down, we pulled up. We look bearish. We look pretty bullish over here, but we're starting to unwind on the weekly. This could pull back in. I'm expecting this zone down here. So we will see. USO looks like this. We've gapped higher, and we're poised, it looks like to me, to roll over from here for at least a little bit, unless we just go straight back up again. And if that's the case, so be it. All right, the bullish percent indexes at stockcharts.com. The industrials didn't move. The NYA up 1%, 1.05. The transports flipped over the other day, and now they're up 11% today. Pretty volatile. The NASDAQ has not flipped back up again, 1.38% up today. The SPX on a column of X's and went up 4.44%. The OEX tacked on a new green X today and up 8.57%. And the NDX tacked on a new X and up 3.77%. So, you know, all signs are really starting to come together. We're going into a new bull phase anyway of the markets. So something I haven't been looking at lately. Let's go to SPX. So October, 70% of the time, the average it goes up 70% of the time over the last 10 years. I believe this is 10 years. Yeah. The market goes up 2.05% on average. I can open this up and make it 20 years. That'll be an interesting number. 65% of the time up at least 1%. So there you go. And then looks like November, December are pretty bullish as well. We're in that bull cycle toward the end of the year. And that's what I'll leave you with for tonight. Take care, guys. Have a great night, and we will talk to you tomorrow.